was there and now she's not. Okay.
Yeah, I can do it if, that's fine. Member Cheryl?
Not here.
Member Cheryl's absent.
Oh, thank you. Member Hickson?
Here.
Member Marabou?
Here.
Member Jones?
Is not here.
Member Langendorf is remote. Vice President Baxley?
Here.
President Pulowski is not here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Do we have a quorum?
No, we don't. So, not a
Do I
physical
need-
quorum. So at
Do I
this
need, do I need to get dressed to come in?
no,
I will come in with a mask.
we'll figure it out. But not having a quorum, we're going to wait to vote on anything until Member Lola Jones has shown up.
Okay,
And
let me know.
We can go on into student ambassador report.
Oh, roll call.
Oh, well, we did.
Oh, you
we
just
did
did
roll call.
that.
We'll do that again.
Additions and modifications.
We're gonna do that after.
No, you're gonna do it all at the end. Okay, sorry. Student ambassador.
All right. Good evening. This is our ambassador report. During the past couple weeks, things with sports, girls, basketball has a game tonight that's going on currently, which is where Mia Schroeder is. So we are rooting for her and wishing her luck. The boys basketball team has a scrimmage tomorrow. I do not have the time that starts off the top of my head, but boys swim and dive captain practices started yesterday at the Indoor Aquatic Center, and then we have our athletes of the month, who are Jevin Jude for soccer and Destiny Burden for flag football. So congratulations for them for getting athletes of the month. And then for coach of the month, we have Coach Blandon, who coaches the football team. And on the next slide, these are their pictures with their awards, and just kind of an about them.
Okay. Our next one is about Marley Yao. She's a junior at EHS, and she's qualified for state for the past 3 years, and she's the second person in, like, U.S. history, Urbana history to do that.
You're fine. Numerous things happened at UHS these past couple weeks. So the Illini girls basketball game, I believe it happened today. I think they had left around second hour, third hour, and they had got back around seventh hour. Everyone had fun. It seemed like a great time. Band had a concert 2 weeks ago. Their concert was nice, very nice. Life Skills is having a Thanksgiving feast on the 21st, and that is at 11:30. So come on by. And the FCCLA food drive is currently in motion. There are donation boxes around the high school. I think there's some at door 1, some at door 9, and some in some other places. We are donating food, and there's a list of food kind of things for us to donate. And the top it top 3 or is it top 5, top 3, something like that. For the top 3 donors, they get to pie Mr. Guzman, Miss Hines, Miss Luth, or Mr. Smith in the face. So looking forward to that, definitely. Miss Luth's bingo Wednesdays happening during junior and senior lunch. She tries to do that every Wednesday if she can. UHS always has a Thanksgiving feast that is on Thanksgiving Day, and that's from 4 to 7 in the Commons. And the ILMEA Jazz Festival happened last Saturday, and Colin Guth went to represent UHS for that. And the ILMEA District Festival happened on Saturday, or this past Saturday as well. And we had a lot of people who went to represent UHS. And this is our report. I would like to add that we are still working with Quest, and we are now working with Marianne, gratefully, to improve things within the school. And we are still making the boys volleyball team, so that is still that club team is still being in the making currently. So we're just getting that put together and hopefully getting that approved soon. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I skipped item 4, citizen statements. Guess we can do that real fast. If anybody wishes to speak to the board, pick up a goldenrod sheet in the back, hand it to Recording Secretary Johnson, and we'll go from there. Going once, twice. That was easy. Next, board report. I believe Secretary Langendorf has a report to give us.
Yes, I do. I also have a question for the ambassadors. If I could do that first, please. The community has asked how they could donate towards the Thanksgiving dinner. Is there some link that somebody can use in order to donate money for the dinner?
To the Live Schools Thanksgiving feast dinner that is on the 21st, you can email Miss Neal, Miss Warman Neal. She's the foods person, and she will take the donations. I'm not sure, how they're able to donate, but she can give more information on that. As far as the actual UHS Thanksgiving feast that's on Thanksgiving Day,
Yes.
I believe we can maybe do some things with Mr. Guzman. I have no.
Go ahead, Sophia.
I'm pretty sure student council runs that, so
Yeah, I
you
was
can
gonna-
email Alvarez about it.
Yep.
I can.
Yep, I was
email
gonna
that to
say,
somebody.
I'd have them reach out to Mr. Guzman, member Langendorf, and or Miss Alvarez, the sponsor for student council. We don't have a
Okay.
link or anything or a QR code.
Okay.
Those donations have usually just come into the high school in the past.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, regarding the delegate assembly, which will meet this Saturday at the conference, this year there's only one resolution and 10 amendments that will be voted on, and each district can have one representative to vote at the assembly. Last year, there were many resolutions and which received a do adopt recommendation. This year, there's only one. If after discussion it is approved, the resolution would become an IASB position statement that will provide direction for IASB to represent member interests before state and national policymakers. The resolution this year relates to an unfunded mandate for school buses to have 3-point seat safety belts beginning July 31st, 2031, which could cost, they estimate, $7,000 to $18,000 more per bus. So the resolution asks for 4 things: to establish a school bus safety equipment grant within the State Board of Education transportation line to provide financial assistance for the verified incremental cost of factory-installed 3-point seatbelt systems on new or leased school buses purchased on or after July 1st, 2031. create a small district waiver that extends the compliance deadline to July 1st, 2034 for districts with a fall enrollment under 2,000 students. Authorize qualifying districts to use transportation fund bond proceeds or revolving lease agreements for the local cost share without counting against the district's statutory debt limit, and directs the Illinois Department of Transportation to approve alternative research-based occupant protection technologies that may offer equal or greater safety at lower cost, giving districts flexibility to comply. So they felt as though it should be adopted because without fiscal relief or additional time, smaller districts will be forced to divert limited education dollars away from classrooms or delay essential fleet turnover. Needs-based grant ensures equity, fiscal responsibility, and safety. So that's why they would like to promote it. There will be a discussion, and then the delegates will vote on whether or not to pass that. There are amendments that really relate to the Constitution, about membership, the delegate assembly, elections and nominations, terms of officers changing to 2 years instead of 1 year, composition of board directors, nominating committees, division officers, who may submit resolutions, emergencies like we had during 2020, and proposals for amendments timeline. The only one that I think that will have some debate or concern would be whether or not districts who do not send representatives to the assembly, whether or not they will have a voting voice. Now they do not. I will listen to the debates and vote appropriately, but I would support the resolution. That's it.
That's it, okay.
Okay.
Thank you. We're going to go to administrative reports. 9.1, we're going to hear Katie Madigan, Principal of Early Childhood, is going to share with us information regarding the upcoming fundraiser for a new playground.
Okay, thank you for listening and having me on the agenda so quickly. Do I click through this, John? Okay. I'm really excited to be here to share this progress with you. This is something that's kind of been in the works for a while. So I'll wait for John to get it. There we go. So just to give you a little bit of background, if you don't know about our school, so Urbana Early Childhood School currently has about 300 students enrolled with a capacity of 360. Last school year, 85% of our students were from low-income households. It's part of the eligibility criteria that allows them to come to a preschool for all program like ours. And also last year, 22% of our students received special education services in some way. Preschool for All grant funds have been at level funding for the last 6 years. They haven't changed, and we know that our salary needs and our benefit needs have been increasing throughout all that time, and the cost of everything has been going up. The PFA grant funds don't cover all the salaries of our staff. They have to be paid from other accounts in the district, and so therefore we don't have a funding from a large project like this. We additionally don't have a PTA at Urbana Early Childhood School. It's a time that students are kind of first coming into the school system. I think families don't necessarily know what a PTA is, and they're there for a really short period of time. Gross motor play is something that's required in our grant. So our students are required to have at least 25 minutes per day of gross motor play to move those large muscles. Because it supports brain development, emotional regulation, attention, and social interaction. UECS currently has 2 playgrounds. We the big and the little playground. If you've ever been there, that's really what they call them. And each one of those has different skills on the playground. So our small playground or our little playground has things like monkey bars, a sandbox, some different climbing things. The big playground, the one that we are hoping to have replaced soon, has things like swings, some other climbing structures. They're just different, like climbing walls and a climbing rope. And it is fully accessible right now with a ramp that was built by Ambux. Our grant does require that we have at least 7 different gross motor skills stimulated during that 25 minutes. So the kids have availability to do things like kicking, climbing, swinging, running, jumping. So at least 7 of them while they're there. Not that they have to engage in all of them, but they're available. So if you didn't know, UECS, our beautiful building, was built in 2013. So I think it opened in August of 2013. So we're at our, 12-year anniversary. Parts of the play structure that we have right now were moved from Washington School. So they were purchased and installed in 2002 at Washington School. And then when the new school was built, they were picked up and moved over there and installed there. And then Ambux installed a ramp to make it accessible. Our current playground on that side is completely wood, made of wood. And it is nearing the end of its life. So I will show you some pictures of that. So you can see that it's a little slanted. Randy and his team, they do a great job of trying to replace little pieces of it as things happen, like a wooden part of it rots, they will replace that. Several years ago, we had some kids climb over the fence and try to set parts of it and the mulch on fire. They replaced that. So it's just becoming kind of hazardous to our kids. It's warped. There's things that need to be replaced a lot. I, in fact, just tried to administer first aid to a kid who got a really bad splinter yesterday on this playground, and I was unsuccessful. So here's some more pictures. You can just see it's getting really aged. So we have been working with Cunningham Recreation. Tyler and Randy brought this gentleman, his name is John, to me. He's local and a former special ed teacher, and he designed this initial design. We haven't finalized everything, but this is an initial projection of what we would like based on what we have already in place, some more sensory activities that we would like to add, and some ideas that we've been generating for the last several years. Here's just another picture of it. Unfortunately, this playground cost is quite high. So it's approximately $120,000 to $140,000. And as you heard, we don't necessarily have the ability to generate that kind of funding on our own. So we are working on donations and grants, but I guess that's kind of why I'm here, is that we did, and you'll see it in the gifts, we did receive our first donation of $30,000 to get us started on this project from Gary and Michelle Olson Trust. And we are hoping that we can work with CU Schools Foundation and some other grants organizations to write for grants and take some additional donations. We have a QR code that didn't show up on this, but it is available and live now that we can take donations towards this new playground. So I hope that you can all help support us.
And so, John, on the one that Catherine sends out in the board update, the last slide has a QR code, so we'll make sure you get that updated. You must have downloaded it before we added that. So, yeah. And board members, I want to make a big deal about the donation. I don't know if you guys heard, $30,000 from one family is huge. And we have a card. We're going to acknowledge them in a special way. But since everyone's not here tonight, we'll bring the card back and make sure it gets signed and out to the Olson family. So I know you've been thanking them on our behalf, but we want to also tangibly thank them. So we really appreciate it. Okay. Yeah. Any questions for Katie?
So on the big playground that needs replaced,
Mhm.
did you say there were swings on that side?
There are swings on that side.
So in the new playground, there will no longer be swings?
So the part that we're trying to replace is just the wooden part. The swings were built with the building in 2013, so they're not in need of replacement. Randy and Tyler have been really great about replacing like the swing belts if we need a new swing, or we still have tire swings. They're not really tires, but they resemble tires. If those need updated, they've helped us with that. So those still will remain in place. It's just the wooden climbing and sliding structure.
Katie, I have a question.
Mhm.
Will this playground be accessible to other children in the neighborhood, or is it closed off during the after school and on weekends?
Yeah, currently the early childhood and Dr. Williams playgrounds are fully fenced and locked. So it's just for use for our students.
Thank you.
Any more questions? No? Okay, let's move on to the next report. Yes, thank you. Principal Carr is going to provide information on the naming committee's recommendation.
Good evening, everyone. All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I want to take a moment to thank the naming committee members, two of whom are present with me tonight, plus our ex officio members who are on the board, Ms. Cindy Adamek and Ms. Julie Duvall. And I want to say thank you to the members who are not present for the collaboration and discussion on something that is very dear to many in our community and in our hearts. We honored the voices that were heard from our community, and we want to make sure that we be certain to address that we respect and honor the Flossie Wiley Elementary School community and Flossie Wiley in general for all of the contributions that were given, and we understand that this task was not taken lightly, and we give honor to those voices. And so our committee, if you have the report in front of you, we did meet 3 times, but I'm going to read to you what our recommendation is in the process by which we came to that. During the September 16, 2025 Board of Education business meeting, the Board of Education adopted a charge to the Naming Facilities Committee. During a special meeting Tuesday, October 21st, 2025, the Board of Education approved a list of committee members to serve on the Naming Facilities Committee. That included myself as the facilitator, Imani Carr, also principal of what is currently called the 6th Grade Center. Committee members that were assigned in presence, Crystal Hall, who was not able to make the majority of the meetings, but Cindy Adamek, again, to my right, Brenda Hinch, Julie Duvall, also to my right, Jackie Douglas, John Gutzmer, Letitia Douglas, and James Quisenberry, and then ex officio Ben Baxley and Lindsay Amaripu. As part of the comprehensive examination to finalize the future name of the building currently called the Urbana 6th Grade Center, and to best meet the needs of the district and the opinions of USD 116 stakeholders, the committee reviewed the following options. 1, to name the building as the Flossie Wiley 6th Grade Center. Another, to name or continue to name Urbana 6th Grade Center, which follows the district's naming conventions for consistency and simplicity purposes. For example, as we did with Urbana Early Childhood School, Urbana Middle School, Urbana High School, and Urbana Adult Education Center. If the name of the building is Urbana Sixth Grade Center, then the other options that we entertained and visited were naming the library in the building the Flossie Wiley Library, naming the current community garden the Flossie Wiley Garden, and naming the current gymnasium in the building the Flossie Wiley Gymnasium. And then other suggestions did get presented by the Naming Facilities Committee as we engaged in some of our discussions. So as charged, the committee discussed the above options that I just named. The committee did convene 3 times, November 3rd, 2025, November 10th, 2025, and November 14th, 2025. The committee did discuss the above options, but also the committee added the following: Flossie Wiley Wing and the Flossie Wiley Campus. So after much discussion and collaboration, the committee narrowed down to the following, and we landed on continuing or retaining the name Urbana Sixth Grade Center with the options of Flossie Wiley Library, Flossie Wiley Wing, and the Flossie Wiley Campus. The committee submits the following recommendation to the Board of Education: to retain the name Urbana Sixth Grade Center at 1602 South Anderson Street. And the committee further recommends that the land at which the Urbana Sixth Grade Center sits be named the Flossie Wiley Campus. This allows us to recognize Flossie Wiley and honor the Wiley community, following the precedent set when naming Dr. Preston L. Williams Jr. Elementary School and honoring the Prairie community. And then if either of you wants to speak to that. Okay, that is our recommendation.
Thank you. Board members have any questions? Comments, concerns?
I know this will seem extraneous, but I was at a wedding Saturday, and 3 of Dr. Brookens's children and assorted grandchildren and great-grandchildren were there. And I got a question about what's going to happen to the bronze plaque that says Dr. Brookens, because it was Brookens Junior High, and then it was Brookens Administration Center, and then it had like the names of the people who were involved in that on the plaque. And now that the Administration Center is no longer there, they asked me as a board member what was going to happen to the plaque, and of course I said, I have no idea. But the next day we got all the board got an email asking what was going to happen to the Flossie Wiley plaque, the bronze plaque. So I mean, I thought that was sort of serendipity that the family were interested in what was going to happen to that plaque. So I'm wondering for Wiley if when we name the Flossie Wiley campus with the Urbana Sixth Grade Center, would there be a way on the, whatever we put Flossie Wiley campus on, whatever, I'm going to say pillar, but I don't mean pillar. Could the plaque be attached to that also? Then if somebody were doing local history, they would see, oh, it was Flossie Wiley School from this period, and then it became Urbana Sixth Grade Center at this year. And so I'm just going to throw that out there just because I think there are a lot of history buffs that would appreciate that, and then family members. I mean, I have to admit, I had not considered what was going to happen to the Dr. Morris Brookens Junior High bronze plaque, but the family was interested.
Gotcha. I don't know if you were looking for me to respond or not. That was not something that the naming committee discussed in our meetings. So I would submit that question back to the board to see how we want to, display or honor that.
Do you have the plaque is set aside, right? Yeah, it's at the shop, yeah.
Excuse me, can I add something? Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I was out of town at the September 16 discussion, which amended the instructions which were given to the naming committee. And even though I didn't participate in the discussion, I did watch it online. And October 21st, the Board of Education formally approved those amendments which were made on September 16th. Now here we are 4 weeks later, and because of the contributions of the committee members, led by Mrs. Carr, we now have a practical recommendation to honor Flossie Riley's dedication to the district, to recognize the Wiley community, and to continue to improve the educational programming and facilities in our district. And I remember Member Amarabu's statement on September 16th with her optimism that the committee will get together and formulate a plan. And I just want to thank you for working together so well so that we can move forward together. I do have a question about whether or not it was discussed regarding the library. And what I'd like to see, I know Member Hickson just mentioned something on a pillar, but I would like to consider possibly having something more in the library to tell who Flossie Wiley was, but also the history of the building and how it was used through the years to service our district. So I would also like that to be thought about or considered, and wanted to know if the committee members talked about that at all.
Go ahead, yeah.
So we did talk about it when we were coming up with narrowing down the following, when we talked about the Flossie Wiley wing. Member Quisenberry had talked about having the original wings dedicated to Flossie Wiley and having like commemorative something on the wall to represent that. And then he retracted that because he felt like it wasn't enough and that he wanted it to be bigger. So when they came up with the Flossie Wiley campus, that was an idea. We also talked about the garden, and sometimes gardens go unattended and can disappear, and it wouldn't be a consistent thing. That didn't come to mind. But I do think that something in the library does sound pretty good.
Randy, Ms. Carr, I know there are several display cases all over the place. Is there one right outside the library, I think?
There is one
Okay.
directly outside the library
Okay, yeah,
that
just trying to
can be used for
visualize.
that purpose.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Great, thank you. I know that there'll probably be pictures or photos of how the building has changed through the years. That might be interesting as well.
I agree. Yeah, be a great way to honor the history.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
I will let Ms. Carr know before, I know I'm not sure if you're gonna stay for the voting, and we're not sure when we're gonna be able to vote tonight, but, at that time, when we vote, Vice President, Baxley will discharge the committee and officially thank you for your service, and when we accept that recommendation, then we'll discharge you from the charge of your work, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to item 9.3, a 2025 proposed tax levy. It's been brought to my attention that this is something we do every year, so don't worry.
Thank you for that introduction.
Thank you.
Good evening. Tonight I'll be presenting the proposed tax levy. And the levy is a formal request by a taxing district for a certain amount of money of revenue to be generated by property taxes. And since we're under tax caps, I just want to keep on reiterating, we cannot receive more than we're legally allowed to get. And the tax levy, it provides approximately 60% of the district's operating revenues each year. And it's pretty complex and can be confusing process that leads to questions from the community. So it's going to be my goal tonight to provide you with answers to any of the questions you may receive. A key term you're going to hear tonight is called equalized assessed value, or EAV. And the EAV is approximately 1/3 market value of your property. It's the figure on which your tax bill is calculated, and you will probably see this number on a Board of Review assessment notice if you own property in Urbana. Another important term that you're going to hear a lot tonight is tax caps, or PTEL, which stands for Property Tax Extension Limitation Law. And PTEL is the law that was approved by voters in Champaign County in 1996. So we have been under tax caps for a long time. It allows taxing districts to receive an inflationary increase in tax extensions on existing property values. It is limited to the lesser of 5% or the change in consumer price index or CPI, plus any new additional amount for new property. CPI is just a measure of the average change over time in prices paid by urban consumers for consumer goods and services. It's the measure that is used in tax cap legislation. CPI for 2025 is 2.9%, so we are only allowed an increase of 2.9% over the prior year's extension. And this is why we historically balloon levy, because we don't want to miss any one-time opportunities in new construction or possible TIFs that expire. And it provides us a safety net, since pretty much all of this is an estimate and numbers at this time. And we know that TIF 4 is expiring in December this year, so it's extra important this year that we balloon levy to make sure that we capture all of that revenue. Our levy cycle is we bring the proposed levy to the board in November, but we actually start the cycle in January when CPI is made available for the year. And then over the summer, the county assessor's office begins publishing EAV estimates for the coming year. Using this pieces of information, we began to calculate the proposed levy. And again, the main point I just want to emphasize to you is that this all begins before all information is available. And property values aren't finalized until April. So we have to levy with estimates and information that we have available at this time. Again, this is why Urbana historically balloon levies, because there's no penalty in doing it. And it allows us to capture any new construction or revenue that is coming onto the credit for that year. And if we're not capturing it when it's first declared, then we lose it for every succeeding year. So if we don't capture the TIF this year, then we can't go back and try to capture it next year. Since we're proposing a levy over 5% of the prior year's extension, we're gonna have to publish a truth in taxation public hearing notice, and it's also known as the black box, and it can be a little scary for board members at first. It's a hearing that is for the public, and it's finalized at the levy meeting in December. And this is also we can meet the December deadline. The black box is usually published in early December, 7 to 14 days prior to that board meeting and public hearing. And as of August 9th, 2024, we're also required to post on our website for a period of not less than 30 consecutive days. So that's why you saw the notice that it's already been put onto the website so we can meet that 30-day deadline. So this just shows the Urbana School District's levy history. This was prepared on estimates, and the final values aren't known until after the deadline. Because of this, we make our levy request larger than the actual dollars received, and it allows for changes in values that occur between the filing deadline in December and the finalization of the levy in April. And so you can see, like, last year in 2024, CPI was 3.4%, but our actual percent increase was 5.62%. Because we balloon levied, we were able to capture some more of that revenue. Same thing. It also shows that the levy request does not determine the extension or what the district actually receives. The final extension is a calculation performed by the county clerk based on what tax caps allow us to receive. Since 2016, we have balloon levied because of the possibility of the tax exempt with the hospitals coming back onto the tax rolls in case that was resolved in our favor. Since we found out that that wasn't going to happen, we still know that we have important things like new construction and the TIF expiring. We're still doing that too, because since the community is used to us doing the black box, it's a good practice, because you can see historically our percentage increase has been over 5%. So doing that balloon levy helps us capture all that additional revenue. If you look at 2022, there was significant growth in new property. with approximately 34 million in new property and then a $20 million TIF that expired. And you see that that year they chose to levy 30% and they only got the 12.39. This slide displays the historical tax rates for Urbana since 2006. In 2013, you can see a spike in the rate, and that was when the hospital exemption went into effect. And in order for the district to receive what we were legally allowed, the remaining taxpayers had to pay the difference. And then for the next slide, so kind of keep that in mind. You see a little bit of the hike, and then the last 2 years, you see that it's gone down. And that's because of the equalized assessed values since 2009. This shows our equalized assessed values since 2009. Sorry, I have a tickle. The decreasing amounts coincide with the increasing tax rates in 2011 to 2015. And it's an example of what PTEL does. I'm going to take a drink, sorry. Oh, I was not expecting the tickle. This is an example of what the PTEL does. It protects taxpayers in time of EAV growth by lowering the tax rate. The last 2 years, the tax rate's lowered. And it protects the district in times of declining EAV. And so that's why we've been balloon levying to capture that additional revenue. And then this slide kind of brings it all together. This is what you're approving tonight in the memo. On the left-hand side, you'll see what was extended to the district in last year's levy. And then the proposed levy is a 25% increase over the total extension and hopes to capture all of that revenue that expires in December. And then the subtotal is our proposed levy, and debt service is part of the total levy, but the county clerk levies on our behalf. So that's information that's filed from our bond resolutions, but that's not something that we vote on to levy because that's something that we already are bound to from the bond resolutions. And then the revenue recapture is added automatically once the extensions are finalized, and that is not part of our levy. So that's why you don't see it on the 2025 side, because it's after the fact. And so while we are showing a levy request of 62.6 million, with CPI being about 2.9% and TIF 4 coming off, we're probably going to be closer to about 53 million with our extension. Do you have any questions?
Board members? Understand any of that?
It doesn't help that I was like coughing in the middle of it. I apologize. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I also missed 5.0, call for executive session. There will be no executive session after this meeting, so I'm going to stretch it out as long as I can until Member Jones shows up. If not, we can go into recess until she does, or, oh, superintendent
Yeah, I
report.
can do the superintendent report. Thank you, John. Thanksgiving dinner. So Keandre and our student ambassadors have already mentioned about the Thanksgiving dinner. So it is on Thanksgiving Day from 4 to 6 p.m., hosted by Urbana High School and Student Council. And something, no? It's okay. 4 to 6, and it is in the Commons. We have had folks reach out about volunteering. So if you're interested in volunteering, if you could contact us, our website, our email for the district rather. And we do have a sign-up link for volunteers that we can share with you to make sure those who want to volunteer can do that. The student council is taking care of their own sign-up for the dinner, but then we are reaching out if there are community people who typically volunteer every year. We don't want to miss anybody who wants to help out. So if you could contact us, that would be great. Next is Veterans Day. So we have a couple of pictures from some of our school events. So I think these are from Yankee Ridge. They hosted an opportunity to meet and learn from local veterans who visited each classroom. You see a group shot of them outside the building. Dr. Williams hosted a building-wide assembly where they learned more about the sacrifice and service and what Veterans Day represents. We, as a district, and on behalf of the board and administration, we partnered with Quest to provide a special dessert treat for all the veterans in the district. They just had to go to the cafeteria in each school and receive their special treat. We always bring them here, but then they don't like to come in person. So we thought, you know what, we'll just give them a special acknowledgement at the building. And so they appreciated that. So thank you. We always send out a nice message, and I know all of our buildings in some way did something to recognize our veterans for their service. The UHS musical starts this weekend. Bright Star, the school edition. It starts Thursday and runs through Saturday at 7. They do still have the Sunday matinee at 2 o'clock. Adult ticket prices are $10 and students are $5. I don't know. Do you guys know what Bright Star is? I don't know what it is. Okay, I was wondering if it was a play or something else. So we will all have to just go see. It's a play, okay. But I mean, I didn't know if it's from a book or from. Oh, Steve Martin. Oh, wonderful. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we are looking forward to it, and we all have to just go check it out. Miss Madigan was here tonight to talk about the fundraising project for the playground, but we also want to acknowledge UECS staff for their hard work and commitment every year. And for the last several years, they've been acknowledged as a Gold Circle school because of their high-quality service to early childhood education for our Urbana youth. So this year, again, they received that rating from the state for the second year in a row. Accelerate, Illinois recognizes early learning programs that prioritize teaching and learning, family and community engagement, leadership and management, and ongoing professional development. So congratulations to Principal Madigan and all of the UECS staff. It's a huge undertaking, and they have to do a lot of work and submit a lot of information in order to be considered for that recognition. And last but not least, the last week on Thursday, the Sixth Grade Center hosted its inaugural Sixth Grade Center Band Choir and Strings concert titled Great Beginnings. I was there. There wasn't an empty seat in the house. The bleachers were full. There were chairs around the gym, around the edges for family and friends to sit. So it included the continuing band students, continuing string, and students that were new to choir this year. So continuing band means they started as fifth graders and were continuing on through sixth grade. And same thing for continuing strings. So this is just a few of the pictures that I took that night. The students were really excited and a little nervous, but they did a fabulous job. And for our first concert in the gym, it sounded great. They were all a little nervous about the sound quality, but Randy, the sound panels made a huge difference. They were a little worried about the reverb, but they sounded great. It was the team. The fine arts team at the Sixth Grade Center was really proud of the students and very much so proud of all the hard work. The beginning band, sixth grade students that are just started as sixth graders for band and strings have their concert right before winter break. I think it's like December 17th or 18th or something. But since this was the first concert to be held in the gym, I wanted to kind of highlight it because it really was a big deal to the students and the staff. So congratulations. That is it.
Okay. She's on her way, so should we recess?
Recess for a few minutes. All
Okay,
right.
recess for a few minutes.
Oh, go ahead. Wait, Jennifer has a question.
If this is sort of really is off any topic, is it okay to Since we're
Um,
killing time, can I ask a question?
Not if it isn't something that's already on the agenda, so
Oh.
we just can't have free conversation unless it was something
Oh.
related to an item that was noticed, or is it something, yeah, I don't know what it's related to, but is it related to any of the topics from tonight?
Not really. It's not
Okay.
related to money or naming or,
Okay.
which is all we've talked about.
Well, yeah, I would say no if it, unless it's part of your board report or something, but we already did that. Yeah, I don't know. I'll defer to Vice President
Well-
Baxter.
It's not part of the board report. Could we go back in time and
Yeah,
consider it a board report?
that would be better, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So, we don't have to vote on the, we're going to, 10-minute recess.
While we wait for Lola.
While we wait for Lola. There we go.
Thank you. Sherry, are you still there? You saw that? Heard that? Okay, you've been telling her. Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay, enough talk about food.
All right.
I'm starving. Member Jones has arrived. Let's do roll call again so we can have it for the record.
Sherry?
Sherry, you there?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Mhm.
Okay, member Hickson,
Here.
member Marabou,
Here.
member Jones,
Here.
member Langendorf here remote, Vice President Baxley,
Here?
President Pulowski, member Cheryl.
Okay, we have a quorum. S-
We'll do a motion
let's
to go
do-
back, come
yeah,
out of recess.
Yeah, I will entertain a motion to come out of recess.
I motion to come out of recess.
Second.
All right, we're out of recess. Let's, for sake of us all, let's go back to 3.0. We're going to, now that a quorum's been met, we're going to vote to allow phone-in voting. So
For addition, corrections, modifications, note that Secretary Langendorf has notified the board she is ill, she will be coming in remotely. And then during approval of the agenda, wrap that in with the agenda approval.
okay. So, are there any additions, corrections, and modifications to the agenda? Because of Secretary Langendorf is homesick, she will vote by phone.
And I'd say we probably should approve the agenda as modified. We've
As modified,
modified it
okay.
quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, we have.
Yes, so.
I move to,
I move that we approve the agenda as modified.
Second.
thank you. So, where are we now?
6.0.
6.0, approval of agenda. I move to approve the agenda as modified?
And allow.
And allow, and she just approved it.
Motioned it, Lindsay seconded it, so you're moving on to.
But we didn't mention with Member Langendorf calling in because she's ill.
Oh, we didn't, or we did?
We just didn't do that in
Okay.
6.0, but we just did.
Okay.
Member Nixon, will you be willing to amend your motion to include that you approve the agenda with Member Langendorf?
Yes, I approve that Secretary Langendorf should be able to vote via Zoom.
Because she's ill, yes.
Thank you.
I second.
Thank you. We'll get there one day. All right, so we will move on to our consent agenda. 10.1, to approve minutes from October 28th, 25 business meeting. The November 3rd, 2025 special meeting for the Naming Facilities Committee meeting. November 4th, 2025 study session. November 10th, special meeting for the Naming Facilities Committee. November 11th, District Teacher Parent Advisory Committee meeting. November 12th, executive session. November 14th, special meeting, which is, again, the Naming Facilities Committee meeting. Blah, blah, blah. And then for 10.2, bills and checks. Education fund bills for 1.5 million, operations and maintenance for 342,000, bonds and interest for a whopping $265. Transportation fund bills for 420,000. Working cash bonds for 1.5 million. School facility occupancy tax for 13,000. Tort for 101,000. Payroll for 7.5 million. And Urbana adult education for $42,000. 10.3 personnel items. We're going to approve various personnel items will be requested. 10.4 resolution authorizing and directing the sale or disposal of personal property in accordance with Illinois law. This is Leo Library books and professional development books. 10.5 a new activity account for the Sixth Grade Center Multicultural Club, and UHS National Art Honor Society. Do I have, the chair would entertain a motion to approve these?
I move we approve all of the aforementioned items.
A second.
Roll call, please. Secretary Langendorf, you there?
Coming, yes.
Okay.
Member Marabou,
Yes.
Member Jones.
Yes.
Member Langendorf. Yes. Vice President Baxley.
Yes.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, yes.
And Member Hickson.
Yes.
Okay. That passes. Those pass. So moving on to 11.0 individual action items. 11.1 gifts. Oh, this is a good one. Gary and Michelle Olson Trust of Florida donated $30,000 to Urbana Early Childhood School for the playground. The following donated a total of $715 to Urbana Middle School girls basketball team. Cornelius Williams, Samuel Williams Jr., Nicole Osby, Brian Agnoletti, Jack and Jane Franklin, Katie and Cord Schroeder, Wade and Angie Franklin. The Schofield Insurance State Farm donated excuse me, $250 to the Urbana High School wrestling program. Maple and Yoke donated $100 to Urbana High School to sponsor the UHS Winter Guard. And Timothy Manning donated a clarinet to Urbana High School. Do you have a motion to accept these gifts?
I motion to accept these gifts.
Second.
Roll call?
Member Jones.
Yes.
Member Langendorf, yes. Vice President Baxley.
Yes.
Member Hickson.
Yes.
Member Marabou.
Yes.
All right, that passes also. Next, 11.2, the 2025 proposed tax levy that we learned of earlier this evening. Do I have a motion to accept this?
I move that we approve the tax levy as proposed by Mary Ann.
I second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Member Langendorf, yes. Vice President Baxley.
Yes.
Member Hickson.
Yes.
Member Marabou.
Yes.
Member Jones.
Yes.
Okay, that passes also. Next is the 11.3 Press Plus 119. Approval of new and or rewritten board policies. Do I have a motion?
I motion for the approval of the Press Plus 119 policies.
Second.
Seconded. Roll call, please.
Well, did we?
Vice President Baxley.
Oh, is there any discussion?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know this is the one that we delayed.
That's right.
And I sent you guys an email about with Susan's recommendations, related to, the changes that Member Hickson wanted to make. So I don't know if you wanna discuss those, or Susan's recommendation was for both of those areas that we not make any changes. But I sent
Right,
that for
and
board members to
I
consider.
accepted what the lawyers
Okay.
suggested. I have to admit, I was disappointed in the one. I thought that I felt like what the board expressed in the Zoom meeting with the lawyers was a willingness, a desire to help more people get on the school board. And I felt that the answer in writing actually was, no, you can't do that. And that we just shouldn't help anybody. And I'm disappointed. I was hoping that we could figure out a way to be more open with that. But if they said no, I mean,
Well, I think Susan's suggestion was that we defer people to, not that we don't encourage and recruit and solicit folks to be on the board, but when they have interest, we send them to the circuit court, because that is kind of his job, to help people learn to be elected members of, elected officials, so, yeah. I didn't talk to Susan about it, just only received what we got in writing, so, yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, do I have a motion to approve these changes? We have a motion? Oh, we have to discuss it, oh, okay, then roll call, please.
Member Hickson,
Yes.
Member Marabou,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Langendorf, yes. Vice President Baxley,
Yes. And it passes. Next, 11.4, the Facilities Naming Committee recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve the recommendation to retain the names Urbana Sixth Grade Center?
I'd read
On,
the whole,
on the.
I was gonna say, I'd read the whole
At
thing.
1602 South
Yep.
Anderson Street. The committee further recommends that the land on which the Urbana Sixth Grade Center sits be named the Flossie Wiley Campus.
I motion to approve the facilities naming committee request the approval for the recommendation to retain the name of the Urbana Sixth Grade Center and for the land on which it sits on to be named the Flossie Wiley Campus.
Second.
Been motion, moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Okay, I was just wondering if there was any discussion, if Ben or Lindsay wanted to add anything after being on the committee? Because I know you didn't get a chance to vote there.
I mean, after thinking about everything and listening to what everybody, everybody's input, I think it was actually a really good idea to come up with the name for the campus as a whole, for the Flossie Wiley campus. I think that's better than the library, a garden, a wing. I really liked it. It was a really good idea.
I thought it elevated her name to something beyond just a portion of the building that you really can't see from the street. Yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts, my 2 cents.
Thank you.
I thought the committee did really well. Worked
Okay.
really well.
Okay, Member Marabou,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Langendorf, yes. Vice President Baxley,
Yes?
and Member Hickson.
Yes.
Great,
And
that passes.
Yep, and at this time, you can officially
So
discharge
at
the
this
committee
time,
and thank them for their service.
At this time, I will discharge the naming facility committee. You can go home now.
Not you.
Okay, and with that, we've done everything. There's, the list of FOIA requests have been completed that appear on the agenda. And I believe that is it. Do I have entertain a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.